Hello and welcome to Katunkwid Chronicles. We are here today on our 50th 50 episode, and we are so pleased to have some friends here with us today. Once again, we have Ashland Kamora. Good morning, Ashland.
Good morning, James.
And sitting right beside her, none other than Arona Moresta. Can we call you Arona?
Oh, I like that. Rona.
Rona.
Yes, Rona.
Runs right off your tongue, doesn't it? You know, there was a very sexy movie named Anora, and it won the Academy Award. Great movie. However, it was very sexual. I think she was a nightclub dancer.
Ooh.
Who had some other extracurricular activities.
Some side hustles?
Beyond just the dancing. But a thoughtful movie. She's connected to I would call him an oligarch's son who was quite wealthy. And that this whole twist of...
As most oligarch sons are.
Yes.
So it was a movie about a rich guy having sex with a hooker?
I
need to know what was thoughtful about that.
Well, the thoughtful part was that she overcomes the situation. She's able to work it, and she keeps her.
She's feisty.
She keeps her self-identity, right?
Yeah, but she's she sees an out from the life of a sex worker, and I think you should really. I don't want to give you too much of it away because it's a really good film.
That'll be some good.
And I'm sure you can stream it now.
Well, we're here today to question Arona. When we're going to, include the usual quixotic collection of incoherent collagen.
It's like you're down at the station and we brought you in for questioning.
We start you off easy and soft.
James, episode 50.
Yes.
I have lived here for 60 years. It's taken you this long to invite me. I don't know what to say.
Wait, question number one.
Golly.
Are you an real Jamestown? I mean, are you a real Katunkwiter or are you a Jamestowner? Where were you born?
I'm 4 years shy and born at Newport Hospital. I was not born in someone's kitchen.
Oh, so we only had one.
So she knows what the criteria is.
I know what the criteria is.
Bailey Harbor was born in the backyard, a couple streets over, and she has been the only person that I know of that's an actual...
was Bailey Harbor born in the backyard?
She was. Her mother had the baby next to a tree.
Now I have to go find her mother and ask about this.
Isn't it wonderful? I think the most of her.
Wow. Planned or
she's right in the earth. She was born in the earth.
It was, did she intend to do this?
Was Mom picking beans?
No, Mom was not picking beans. She chose to do this. She had a favorite tree. It was cool that day, and she was able to have the baby beneath the tree. Beautiful little baby Bailey.
I think we need to reach out to our listeners and ask if anybody else has been born on the island. True,
we should.
And then we should have them on as a guest.
I think that should be perhaps the criteria going forward. Arona is I want to call you Anora because of the movie. But Arona is probably the last guest that's not from a true islander.
You mean from now on?
That's it.
I have to leave.
I have to leave too.
All right. So basically, though, Arona, I'm assuming you don't remember being born in Newport, but everything you remember is
here. Yeah. We when they finally built a bridge, that's when we came.
Mm-hmm.
The sound of the paper is the sound of us wiping sweat from our bodies. So let's just start you off with a softball question. Where in Katunkwit do you live on the Katunkwit official Katunkwit map, if you had one?
Well, on the official map, I'm West Harbor, but just really we say that we're Brenfield Cove people.
Oh, you are Brenfield. Okay.
Brenfield Cove people. Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can feel the cove.
I can see it actually in the winter time from my bedroom if I lean left.
In the summer,
practically water view.
I have a view like that at my house.
Water adjacent view?
No, in the winter you can see the water, but you have to go
The rich
upstairs.
get theirs in the summer, and the poor get theirs in the winter.
Do you have to look through somebody's house like on that
No,
commercial?
there's no houses, just bare trees in the water.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, you can't see the water because of the mosquitoes. Is that correct?
Oh, dear God, yes.
I mean, it's wafts of mosquitoes.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
I think the property that you're on is we would have been neighbors because Eva, while I was away on one of my many soccer journeys to Europe looking for players, recruiting, she put a bid on one of those properties. And it was on the other street, but it was just right behind you?
Yeah, our property goes street to street. So.
Okay, so it's the one, probably just the one down from there.
Yeah.
It was like we put...
It's probably 80,000 at the time.
It was 35.
Now it goes for several million.
We put 35 on it, and they sold it for 36 or something.
God. Oh, my
Several
God.
million.
So, yeah,
mosquitoes.
The mosquitoes are bad. I mean, we were part of that whole mosquito magnet craze back in the
It wasn't effective.
late 90s. You know, when we went to empty the trap, were there tons of mosquitoes? Yes, there were.
But there was also
it was-
global
But
There were
warming.
still more mosquitoes.
Yes.
Actually, my brother-in-law, he and his wife are very, all natural, organic. He put together, he ordered garlic oil and mixed it with water and put in one of those big sprayers.
Must be Italian.
No, actually 100% Irish.
Okay.
Anyway, and they came over one night. We were having a gathering, and they went all around the perimeter with the garlic oil. And it smelled garlic, but it worked.
Oh, I'm going to get some of that. I'm going to make some of that. Oh, I like that.
It worked. Highly
That's
recommend
good
it.
to know. Do you have everybody in your neighborhood has screened-in porches?
Many of them do, yes. Yes. Love a screened-in porch.
I
Love
find-
a screen porch.
I found that what's changed our community and our little neighborhood are the mini splits. So people don't sit on their porch anymore. They just go in their home and
Yeah.
they don't sweat
Yeah.
while we're sweating. So that's what's going on in my neighborhood. It's very antisocial, though. I think the mini splits have become. There's a one downside to that. We just don't see them as often. We have to make an appointment to visit where we used to visit right in the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
During COVID, we would visit from one side of the street to the other.
with
we'd have
the
a visit.
road in between is your
Yeah, the
boundary.
road was the boundary. And, I would step in the street because I couldn't hear, and Eva would say, "Get up, you're too close." It was almost a full street away. But so here's a question for you.
Yeah, what?
Where do you hang out alone when you need mental space? Because I know you are working with a lot of people in Katunkwit.
Well, I'm recently retired.
Oh,
I
good.
am no longer the island shrink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that was
thank God. Oh, my God, carrying around 6,000 secrets every day.
yeah. Well,
Oh, my God.
like just you can't.
I never thought about that.
specifics. But
Oh, my God. Well, I told my husband I can now go down to the cafe and have a second captain's daughter and not worry about spilling the beans.
But how about but you could still do it. You could still spill the beans, but you wouldn't lose your license because you're
I
retired.
have a really bad short-term memory.
Okay.
So, unless it's happened in a therapy session within the past month, it's gone. So, so it's good. It's good.
So you've run across some characters here.
Oh,
Some of our characters
Oh,
in our
I can't.
many stories that we've talked about.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
just say I've
Well, you can't say
heard
anything
some
specific.
truths and some not truths on this podcast.
Are there a lot
Whatever.
is there a lot of philandering going on? Really?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't feel like it, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm out of the mix.
It's not as bad as when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
When I was a kid, my parents at that time they were professional level considered. Other than the summer people, considered the upper income of the island.
Oh, okay.
But my father was a social worker, so that tells you what the island looked like. But it was interesting. It was interesting, the stories I heard later as an adult that my mom told me
Oh, a lot of sex in the cemetery?
was going on between people.
Oh, okay.
And there are a few high-profile divorces of, close couples And then there's the affair between the husband and the other wife, and a lot of drama.
Was their wife swapping?
Their wife swapping.
Ready, switch.
And then stories. I hate to say it, but I've heard about a lot of the yacht club people.
Oh, we're not going to talk about them. We love them.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I sat one night with a couple of friends, being yacht club adjacent, not a member, because as I told my daughter, there's two kinds of people in the world: those that are accepted to the yacht club and those that help them spend their minimum. And we are we're the fresh air kids that help them spend their minimum.
Yeah,
but anyway,
fun. I've had that experience.
But they talked about their parents in the 60s. And the number of step-parents, and the step-parent is then now the boyfriend. It boggled my mind. It boggled my mind. All of the
Do you think that
exchanging.
Being on an island just makes that more likely to happen? A little bit isolated?
Oh, yeah, it's a smaller pond. Right? And especially if it's...
And also in Rhode Island where people can't seem to go very far without getting a hotel room.
Right.
And there's less communicable disease, I guess, because of the island bridges, right? Is that your natural hair color?
Oh, God, no.
Okay, great. Do you have any stories?
I used to be, but not now.
And this is radio and nobody knows what her hair looks like.
Well, it looks great.
Oh, I thank you.
Do you have any stories about the new Pope that you want to share?
I have no personal stories about him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as far as popes go, I think he's appears to be a good one as far as popes go. I don't know enough yet. I think he's spoken out about our current government, and I think that's pretty cool.
Good.
I think he has stated, and again, you don't know what's real or not real when you read it online, that he still will allow, I think, the blessing of same-sex marriage, the blessing of it.
But he spoke out before against that.
I know. I know. But again...
Maybe, people change.
I don't know. Well, right. But I had heard recently that he said he wasn't going to change the previous Pope's stance on that. I mean, I was raised Catholic.
Oh,
Were you a fan of the previous Pope?
Overall, yes, but I don't run my life according to Catholic.
But that was very circular.
Because I think there is spiritually beauty in a group of people having a shared way of embracing what is beyond us. But I think that humankind and mankind and politics and it's tainted. It's I think there's a difference between the beauty and the spirituality and the prayers and all that.
Church.
And then what happens when mostly men come in and start to use that in such a way that I don't believe in. I
Corruption.
really don't have my thoughts together on that, but I don't believe in a team mentality either. I believe, I mean, as I'm sure you guys do too, that as human beings, we all have our own way of grappling with mortality and grappling with how to get through life. And I've said to a friend of mine he was an atheist, and he was also a computer engineer, and he had a little touch of autism, which is great because very pragmatic person. And he just kept saying to me, there's no proof, but there's no proof. There's no proof that there's an afterlife. There's no proof. And I said to him, that's okay. In the back of my head, I know this is probably a big Santa Claus story, but it's getting me through. It's getting me through.
Well, I'm going to talk about this for a second because I think this is a very pivotal moment for my family. We lost a very close friend this week, and
I'm so sorry.
On the 25th, and she, she was a member of our poetry group while during COVID because it was online and she was able to do it. She lived out in Massachusetts, and we lost hers and a good friend, his sister. So I became very close to her, and she was very interested in poetry, and it was wonderful. So I was just listening to music yesterday in the pool doing my pool workout because I have to work, in water, and I'm listening to music, and Leonard Cohen, who I love, his music. He comes on, and it was You Got Me Back in Music was the name of the song. I think it was that song. And really, I felt this way about this woman. She really inspired us to be better persons, all of us, and very spiritually connected to the earth and the sun and the moon. She was very much a wonderful example, right? Mm-hmm. So she was very motivating. But I called my friend. I called him, talk about his sister, and I told him about this moment. He said he woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning in Fitchburg, and his Kathleen's significant other, David, he woke up at 2 o'clock at the same time. And they both had the same dream about her, and it was wonderful. And they went together to this pond the next day, and he said she was everywhere. I mean, they were feeling her presence everywhere. So there's a spirit there that there's something going on. So I don't know how to put it together with a formal kind of religion, because I think when you say formal religion,
well, as humans, we want to explain everything. Right?
Don't we?
So we create stories and reasons, and we want to explain it all. We just don't want to shut up and feel it, experience it, and accept that maybe it's not logical, and it's not. I mean,
right?
It just is.
It doesn't. Yeah, I've always been accepting of the illogical. I mean, this podcast is oftentimes illogical. But I really wanted to reach out to the family and say. Thank you for bringing this wonderful woman to my life. So thanks again. Aww. Kathleen Geary. Is it true? This is the next question.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if this is more like a BS or not, but is it true that the Oklahoma school system is screening their prospective teachers to determine if they have allegiance to the federal government?
Is this one of those, is it bullshit or not? Or
No.
Are you asking me?
Do you know of this?
Do they want to screen them to make sure they do or make sure they don't?
If they don't, then they don't get hired, apparently, or they get fired.
So they want them to have allegiance to
Correct.
the current administration.
Right. And then, the second part of the question is, if so, which it is true, how do you think this will affect education in the city of Berlin in the coming year of 1938? So that's more of a commentary than a question. So we talked about the mosquitoes, and talked about how to eradicate them.
Yeah.
So I think
garlic oil. Telling you. I mean, I don't know if it kills them, but it certainly keeps them away for a few hours.
That's because they're essentially flying vampires.
True.
There you go.
You got me this morning, and you know what?
Wow.
There used to be night things, and now they're morning things and daytime things. I think they have like these. I have like
adapted.
tiger mosquitoes.
They've adapted.
Yeah, they're not doing nighttime.
Oh, the
stuff.
tiger ones. You can actually see the little stripes.
Yeah,
on them.
they're really aggressive.
Ooh.
You guys should move to the north end. We don't, as of yet, have this terrible mosquito
It's the climate.
problem.
It's the climate
I
up there.
had 5 of them on me this morning.
So dry. I can't believe you even have mosquitoes.
Well, you know, they used to cut. I don't know the last time they did it, but they would go into the marsh there.
Oh, and
Yes.
drain it.
Drain.
They'd cut the the drainage paths. I don't know when the last time that was.
I think they've determined that's not
Doesn't work.
actually
No.
an environmentally sound
They
practice.
used to put oil in the water too, so they would kill the mosquito larvae.
That's
So that's never been good. However, that that practice was done quite a lot, and it was never like, I would, if it were me, if I were doing the cutting, I would have done like kind of a meandering
A nice
cut.
pattern.
Because it's
you
always
can see it from
straight.
the air, like they do those corn mazes, right?
Yeah, it's straight. I mean, it doesn't belong in nature.
Boring.
I guess, did you see the Cat Center for the Arts? Did you see the show about the birds, the window birds?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I unfortunately, I've been out of town quite a bit this summer.
Oh, that's right.
Taking care of family and visiting my daughter. But I did see the pictures of the soiree.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But
really
which we can't
something.
afford to go to. What we'll do is this next year we'll all pitch in whatever it is. Is it $800 or something?
And send one person.
We'll send one person as our representative.
We could all design
I had a whole
costume.
plan where I was going to crash the soiree and do a sort of a performance art thing related to birds, but then I had a conflicting event, so
Okay,
I didn't go.
I'm gonna make a. Don't tell anybody.
Okay. Shh.
I think next year we should do one of those. What they call flash
mob.
Flash mob. Let's do a flash mob. We'll practice like hell. We'll get a whole bunch of people and we'll do a flash mob activity at that show.
I think that's a great idea.
I love it. Don't tell anybody. I'm very, very certain no one listens. So I know you to be a rather, I wouldn't say big sailor person, but a person that's diminutive.
I'm the mascot.
Sailing adjacent.
Do you know what they call me on Lex and Kara's boat?
I would say you're like you bring the. I know what you bring. You bring those nice peppers with the nice cheese.
I'm called the snack-tician.
The snack-tician, yes. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. I was also a snack-tician. I would bring the clams. I was always bringing clams and stuffing them and doing other things.
Yeah.
So on that boat, do you start snacking right from the start?
No, unfortunately,
wait for the
no.
end
I
of
mean,
the-
really, for me, sailing is just the vehicle to the beer and snack after. No, it's all very serious and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, it's very serious.
Except the ATI. When we do the ATI, the minute that boat flattens out, the sandwiches are coming out, and we're
What's
good.
the ATI?
Round the island race.
Yeah, because that's a long race. You got to eat
It's a
lunch
long
halfway
race,
through.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you taking your protest to the streets?
Oh, we have. My family
Resist?
did. The resist. They, my husband and daughter went up and did the No More Kings or whatever it was called, and then my husband just told me there's going to be something at the library coming up that he heard about.
I like it.
Having to do with, basically protesting the book banning, but is it Mothers of Liberty?
Oh, who are trying to
Are
pull
are
books.
planning a day of whatever they want to call it, protest themselves on that same day. But he came home last night from the library. He said, the 26th, there's going to be a...
Will they be burning
I
bras?
guess at the little Jamestown library. I'm not sure what it's going to consist of.
Burning
So we'll have
bras
to-
on
we'll have
the
to go
Mothers
across-
of Liberty, right? That would be...
Yeah.
When I was at the event that conflicted with the soiree, we stumbled across a bookstore that I can't remember the name of it. It was a clever name, but it was basically all banned and persecuted books, new and used. The whole bookstore.
Do you
Oh,
know? So although I've basically been the island shrink, I also consulted to a local school system. And last year, every teacher, psychologist, so whatever, because of the Freedom of Information Act, a parent had asked for a list of all titles that we had in our possession, either in the classroom, the library, or my office.
Oh my gosh, that's a significant
To which I
request.
refused, because obviously a lot of the material I have can be everything from, understanding your alternative family to death and dying to I have the little book that Jazz Jennings wrote about her journey with transsexuality. So I didn't do it. No one asked for it. It was like a weak ask from the principal, but I was just, it was chilling.
She's on a list now.
I'm on a list. Oh, I'm on a list now. I'm on the please come visit me when I'm in Trump jail list because
Yeah,
on
me
a
too.
lot of things, for a lot of things.
We'll go together. Just
Okay.
walk
But
in.
anyway, I was just, wow, in Rhode Island, Wow. That's
There's
some
been a
scary-
lot of
that's-
that
that's-
sort of forcing everybody to give up all of their public records, which is a pain in the neck, wastes time and money.
There was also a batshit crazy gal who I saw on Facebook who had done a whole expose on the Conunquit Library because of their family bathrooms.
Oh,
Because anybody could use them?
Because so they're family bathrooms.
I know.
They clearly say, lock the door behind you. And in the bathroom, you have the choice of the toilet or the urinal. Okay, you got your family in there. Well, she claimed that these were bathrooms that were all gender to be shared at any time, and that we were exposing our children to potential pedophiles because a child could be in there and then somebody else could come in and use the urinal. She did a whole little documentary on it. She took pictures of all the donors on the wall.
I didn't know anything about this.
She interviewed the
Fascinating.
library. I'll have to send you the link. When I brought it up to the librarian, she's like, "Oh my God, that woman was driving us absolutely crazy." But yeah, and then all her batshit followers were just going on and on and on about wokeism and these all gender bathrooms and pedophiles and
It's
right here in Conunquit.
Crazy town.
a lot of reading going on in the library.
In the bathroom. Are you allowed to take books into the library bathroom?
I don't think
That
that's a
was
good
a
idea.
Seinfeld
I don't think
episode.
so.
Do you remember that? He took it into the bathroom at Barnes and Noble. So flippin' funny.
Well, have you or any member of your family or anybody that you know ever been a member of the Communist Party?
Not that I know of. Does that mean I can stay the rest of the podcast?
You can continue.
Okay, thank
As long
you.
as you don't burn any of these books we have here. Are you in favor of building a tunnel from North Kingstown to Katunquit and then over to Aquidneck Island? Have you heard of this proposal? And I have a follow-up question.
Seriously?
Yeah, are you in favor of building
I'm
a
not.
tunnel from
No,
the...
I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not. It's
Should
just
we-
a waste of money and resources and no.
Should we build a tunnel instead of a bridge over the Great Creek, a tunnel underneath to get people there and back as sea level rises and takes the road?
Okay. So you're talking to someone who flippin' hates those tunnels. Like,
Okay.
I went over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel once, not knowing what I was doing. I went down the Delmarva, and I was going to Newport Beach, and I thought, okay. I thought I was going to die.
So this is a
No, this is a personal
phobia.
thing.
This is a
like
personal.
no. I think
Can
aesthetically.
you sleep with your head under the covers?
Do I know? I do.
We'll ask questions
my
in
sister
rapid fire.
recently brought that up, that she doesn't like close spaces and can't even sleep with her head under the covers.
Oh, I can do that. I think. And
I can't breathe.
Ken, Ashlyn, I defer to you because of your background. Obviously, if that makes sense as far as the ecology and aesthetics and everything to do the tunnel, that's fine. I'm all for it. I'll just go.
She'll
around.
just drive her
I'll
around.
just go around.
Well, do you think we'll be living underground sometime soon? Because it seems like we need to be right
know
this
what?
week.
If I'm-
It's hot enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Without divulging any secrets,
Mm-hmm.
have you seen a general uptick in psychological related concerns in the past 10 years?
Yes.
What do you attribute this to?
I think a variety of things. I mean, people always fall back on, oh, well, we're just better at detecting it, or it's just more acceptable for people to come out with their problems. But have you guys read The Anxious Generation?
No, it was. I got too nervous when I started it.
You started it? No. Read it, and I'm blanking on the guy's name, and he is a very well-respected professor, but it's very easily written, and we actually had it as an all community read in the district where I consult. But anyway, I really have you read Sebastian Junger's Tribe, the book Tribe?
No, you
Read
have to
it.
write all this down for us.
Read Sebastian Junger. It's Tribe. It's not very big.
Is it on the banned book list?
No,
at school?
probably. But basically, I do attribute it to social media and how basically what Younger says is that we're still, as far as our evolution, we're still tribal. our brains are tribal brains, and we're really only meant to have about 50 people in our lives who we are concerned about. And we're only meant to know what's going on within that realm. And what has happened, obviously, going way back to when we started broadcasting, with news and with, seeing peers in situations that seem so perfect, and just this onslaught of everything that happens to us, that's rewiring our brains. I mean, trauma rewires your brain. Legit trauma rewires your brain. If you have truly been a child or an adult with trauma, your set point is here, it's not here. And so you're doing this. But we're doing that to ourselves.
Just because this is not a visual medium.
Don't you like my visual?
Arona was raising her finger up and down like an EKG.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I think there is more anxiety because of that. But yeah, read the book Tribe.
Okay.
It's very he was a war correspondent before he wrote A Perfect Storm and all that. He was a war correspondent.
Oh, and I like the guy that wrote Perfect Storm.
That's him. That's Sebastian Junger.
Okay.
And one of the premises was that when soldiers came back, a lot of people felt that a lot of their mental health issues was because of what they were exposed to as soldiers. And he kind of puts out there, yeah, maybe somewhat, but really it's leaving the comfort of and protection of the tribe that they were in.
Oh, wow. This is a book I'm reading.
It's a book you're reading, and then I'll shut up about it because I could go on and on.
Love it.
He talks about how back in the 1600s, when precious white Puritan women were kidnapped by Native Americans, and maybe a few years later they were found, they didn't want to leave
because they had a new tribe.
They had a new tribe, and it was a very egalitarian tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So anyway, read it.
So all this time I thought it was because Donald Trump was inaugurated on the 16th of
yes. Okay.
2016, yes. And then July 25th.
That's not helping.
That too.
Okay.
But don't you all, at least like-minded people, you wake up every day with just this hint of a pall, just this pall. That
yes.
Sometimes if you choose to watch the news or whatever, it gets worse. But there's always this little tiny bit of dread.
So you think I shouldn't wake up to NPR every morning?
No, because I have to take vacation. I take a few vacations from all of that. You're gonna feel so much better, and don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty.
It's kind of why I like sailing offshore.
Exactly.
It's your own little thing. It's just that small circle you can see around the boat.
And that's all that your nervous system and your emotional system, it's all that you're really meant to deal with.
I might actually get a big sailboat now because I think it's time for me to have something that I can get in and just never come back. Well, I'm going to ask you this question. You don't have to answer it. But as a doctor, what do you think of the current president's most recent age-related ailment, swelling of the legs and the bruising?
As I always say,
life-threatening?
I'm a doctor. I'm not a real doctor. I'm a soft scientist doctor.
Right, but she knows about his biggest ailment, which is up here in his head.
I know that.
But
let me just finish the question. Do you think that he is up to the task of dehumanizing much of humanity?
I think that it's just going to make him grumpier, and I think he's up for it because he's just getting more bloated and grumpy and angry. And
yes, but he's very excited now because he's going to put a ballroom into the White House. It's been lacking a ballroom. He tried during Obama's era to offer to pay for and give $100 million to build a ballroom at the White House. And now he's finally going to do it. And he's going to oversee it because that's his passion. Meanwhile, the country and world are going to shit. But, he's going to be on that ballroom.
And I'm sure you've all seen that god-awful Home Depot renovation he did of the Oval Office.
Oh, God.
I don't know what happened there. But do you think that... Oh, my goodness. I don't even want to go there. Do you think it's going to be a ballroom with a lot of golf balls in it? Anyway, do you attend the car show that takes place at Fort Perry each summer? I am told you like old cars.
I like cars.
You have a vintage Honda CRV in your yard.
Yeah, that's what my daughter drives. It is vintage. You're
We
right.
had a CRV, and we loved it.
It is. Yeah.
We had one
is.
too.
Same year.
I do love cars. I don't know where it came from. My father wasn't a car. I don't know. It's just if you could give me I'd love like one of those big original Mercedes from the 1950s with and not because it's Mercedes, just because it's cool with the big steering wheel and no seat belts and stick shift and.
Have you and your husband Stan considered living in Italy, garnering citizenship? Isn't he? He's Italian, isn't he?
No. See, it's so funny.
Is he's Irish?
He's 100%.
He speaks like a Gavone.
Because he was raised in South Providence.
All right.
Back when it was all firefighters and policemen.
All right.
And then they all left to the suburbs. But everyone thinks he's Italian. He's 100% Irish.
Oh, he's great. He's
Are
great.
you also 100% Irish?
No, I don't even think I've got Irish in me.
Oh.
No.
I see that
French and
Stan.
Italian.
I'm sorry, I'm moving through the questions, but I see that Stan swims every day. What's up with that?
That's his passion.
He's so healthy.
He's also the third oldest lifeguard in Rhode Island. And his goal is to be the oldest. So when he retired from teaching,
he said
that's when he became a lifeguard at the age of 65.
Well, I'm going to have him in
Loves
for
it.
a visit because we don't have any third.
Is he lifeguarding on Catunquit?
No, he used to lifeguard at North Kingstown Beach, but he now lifeguards for the Girls and Boys Club pool, YMCA South County pool, and now this summer he and my daughter are both doing the Girls and Boys Club camp that's on the near
I
river.
actually have seen him at the Boys and Girls Club pool.
Yeah.
Because we bring the kids from the school over there to test their underwater remotely operated
I'm sure that
vehicles.
they need the technical advice during that time.
Yeah, I'm sure
What's
he'd
your
be
favorite color ice cream?
My favorite color ice cream?
Yeah,
Oh, green.
pistachio.
Yes.
How was your
Wait,
height?
it could be mint chip?
With real pistachios, though, not walnuts. I scooped ice cream on Cononiquet.
Cononiquet. So over with Jamestown?
Catunquet.
Oh, Catunquet, yeah.
Sorry, I stumbled.
Has your height
I stumbled.
advantaged you during your lifetime?
My height
Yes.
advantaged me?
It goes along with the hair color.
Only with shorter people.
Okay. How many beans do you put in a pot of vegetarian chili?
Oh, at least 4 cans.
Okay.
Mixed, though. Mixed black and white.
I think it's time to have a drink of the water because I'm starting to bloody boil here. I'm sitting in my own sweat. Lovely football. Off we go.
So does that mean during Limerick fill-in, I can go get a glass of water and
I'll share. I'm not afraid of you.
Rona can listen to your wonderful limericks?
Oh, well, you're part of the show, but you can get a water if you need to, anytime.
I was just trying to escape the limericks.
Oh, okay. There once was, this is Limerick fill-in, so you know how it works. It's a weird point system, and we're going to work on it. There once was a white shark that swam around Catunquet waters. It was large with big teeth, and people called for its slaughter. But Jim Caden from Harbor Street objected vehemently, as he stated, the creature has feelings and belongs to the sea. But Jim Caden didn't know that the shark would.
Just be.
Okay, so out of turn, but you said just be.
Out of turn. Well, did you point to?
I didn't point to you, but I would point to you. Just be. So, but Jim Caden didn't know that the shark would just be. And Rona?
Invite him over for tea.
Haha, I love it. Bite his leg off while swimming up to the knee.
Oh.
I'm going to go with the T on that one, and we're going to give Rona, we're going to give you 4 points because of your hair color. Okay, so home is the place where Callie's most familiar still. She arrives home each day and lights a candle on the windowsill, then pays the mortgage and many bills. But while writing a check, her hand cramped and the pain killed. So she called the doctor to get a prescription to be filled. But while going to the pharmacy, she tripped and fell. And now her life is a
horror at the bottom of a well.
Ooh. Tough to beat that one. Don't even try. No, I'm just kidding.
Her life is a story that no one would want to have to tell.
The well gets it.
Yeah,
and
I think the well gets it.
Yes, Ashlyn gets 1 point for that one because the other answer was reasonably good, so it works out. So it's 4-1 right now, and this one is the last one. So this one is worth how many points would bring us all even? 3 points, right? Yes. In Katunkwit, cats are king. They roam the Katunkwit Main at night while crooners sing like me. They're fed and brushed by the women that own the salon, but they live on the streets where increasing traffic moves along. Katunkwitonians were shocked to learn last Saturday that the cats of Katunkwit blank
are members of the latter day.
Oh, okay. What do you have?
I was just going to say would not live to see another day.
Oh,
that's good.
Yeah, but I like the latter day.
Okay, so Latter-day Saints win it with 7. No, what do you get? You had 1.
Ashlyn wins.
No, that's tied.
Wins
4-4.
the wittiness.
4-4, another tie here in Katunkwit on this podcast day. Oh, so the cats were mentioned here, right? Do you know that song, Stray Cat Strut?
Oh, God, yes.
Maybe there will be some singing today. We used to sing this song when I was in college while on the bus. You remember it? No.
Oh, I remember it.
You're too young.
Honey, I was only a few years behind you. She's too young.
Stray cat strut on the latest guy. Yeah, real Casanova say, man, that's right. I get shoes thrown at me by a mean old man. I get my dinner from the garbage can. And I don't bother chasing mice around. Oh no, I slick down the alley looking for a fight and howling to the moon on a hot summer's night and singing the blues. Okay, that's enough of that.
Who sang that?
Stray Cats.
Oh, it's the Stray Cats. The Stray Cats.
Oh, so we have reached the part of the show where we actually try to get some money out of the people in the community that are doing businesses here. And we have one here, the first one up, Maria's Soy-Based Shrink Wrap Services for all of your shrink wrap needs. Maria employs the use of naturally soybean-based shrink wrap materials for all her wrapping jobs. Maria says, I could shrink wrap your boat in October, and you could eat your shrink wrap in the spring when you're ready to set sail. Or you could cut it up, place it in the compost pile, and turn your shrink wrap into soil for summer's big boy and big girl tomato crops, or for your permitted 6 marijuana plants, Maria says. And it's permitted, by the way. The soy-based wrap degrades slower over the winter months and remains a viable barrier until spring, just as you need to shed your boat's skin. Shrink wrap your outdoor furniture, and you don't have to store it again. Shrink wrap your old vintage car until you're ready to work on it. Come by and visit Maria at Katunkwit Shipyard. She'll be the lady with a huge heat gun on site. Maria, not a bad idea, right?
I wonder if she also includes recipes. for
Yeah, well, I want to take the shrink wrap off my boat and then eat it.
Yeah, that's
It's
a good
okay
idea.
if it goes through the compost, but I think I don't want to skip that step and, slice it into pasta strips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's quite a bit of it too, and it might overwhelm our menu. Kentucky Electric Bikes Incorporated provides e-bicycles to patrons for use on the island only. Our bikes are the best, run the longest on a charge, and when your e-bike runs out of juice, you leave it wherever you are, and we'll pick it up. It says Jonas Sales of Highland Drive. Helmets are required, and only one person is to use the bike at a time.
You know what this reminds me of? Where you said for on-island use only?
Yes.
Leaving Newport a couple of weeks back,
Yes.
I came upon it was a chase that ended in being pulled over. And do you know what was pulled over on the bridge? One of those green two-person things they rent in Newport.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody attempted to go over the Newport Bridge.
Well, they want to get to
And 3 cops.
Kentucky.
My daughter commented it was probably the slowest chase ever.
I was going to say.
And I don't know what happened because we passed by, but I would imagine they probably got a flatbed truck to get it out of there.
Oh, the green things that wobble and shake because they're all like made of plastic?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. They don't have any airbags in those. Kentucky Soccer United announces the addition of new staff member in the team of professionals. Victor Hugo of Spain will be joining the staff. Victor is a fine young man from the city of Barcelona, has played extensively, will guide the children in our community to become more proficient in the sport of soccer, says Tony Andronian, president and CEO of Kentucky Soccer Premier D3 USL team based here in Kentucky. Which is really exciting that we have a D3 USL team.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
And, Tony, I know Tony. I know he knows the game. It's good. And, they hired this guy, Victor. He's got a Spanish accent. Bring it on. Probably makes a nice paella. And that's an assumption.
I got a soccer question for you. What do you think of the Messi controversy regarding his failure to show up for the All-Star game?
I think it's a mess. No, a man's 50 years old. He plays like he's 10. I
don't think he should have to go to this game.
He needs a rest. He's playing in the heat of Miami. It's hot up here. Imagine what it's like there. Anyway, I don't know. I have no opinion on that. I think All-Star games are not. They shouldn't have them. I don't believe in it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of silly, and I also think that it's clearly an American thing. Like in Europe, everybody gets a big long vacation.
Yeah.
And no one, even with the baseball, does anybody watch it? Does anybody watch the All-Star games?
No. They watch that home run thing.
Oh, the home run derby?
And then I noted many of the home run derby winners and those that try hard at it, they don't play well in the second half of the year. They don't hit as many home runs because they're trying to hit a home run at a 50-mile-an-hour pitch. But that's enough about that. Notice. This is a notice. This is very important, so we have to go to notices now. Kentucky Island residents, hear ye, mosquitoes trapped near Tempest Pond did contain traces of the disease Monto fever, a rare and really non-existent disease that makes men amorous and women disinterested in sex. It was said to be responsible for 3 fights, the last plein air painting session at Rat Tail Point. Mrs. Constance Quickold of Blessing Hill and Ms. Sabin Tramley, also of Blessing Hill, were seen flicking oil paint at each other during a session, just after the instructor, Angelo Cherrystone, tried to touch Miss Tremblay's breast. I guess she was turned off because she may have been bitten. When Miss Tremlace objected, accusing instructor Cherrystone of sexual abuse, Mrs. Quickold knocked over Ms. Tremley's easel and walked 5 miles back to her home in Blessing Hill. Ms. Tremley is not pressing charges and has maintained her spot in Mr. Cherry Stone's class. What do you make of this?
I don't
Our doctor's
understand
on
why the women didn't stand up for each other instead of knocking over easels and flicking paint at each other.
Apparently they've had this, and it's connected to this disease, right? Monto fever?
Is that really a disease?
The annual Katunkwit
come
Bottom
on.
Crawl will take place at East Beach in front of Blessing Hills Green at 9:30. We never question the validity of any of these things now. We have to tell our guests that in advance, however. But she didn't know that, so she's questioning this
Just
disease.
talking about men wanting
Manto
sex
fever?
and women being done with it. I mean, come on, that's not okay.
It has nothing to do with mosquitoes.
I think it's a manufactured disease. I think there was some little meeting among the men. I'd love to know what they think the cure is.
Well, it's all this whole thing, too. And, it doesn't take in people that have interest in men and men that have interest in men, women that have interest in women, people that are, have interest in animals, whatever. The annual Katunkwit Bottom Crawl will take place at East Beach in front of Blessing Hills Green at 9:30 a.m. All contestants will be fitted with position monitoring devices. No weight belts permitted after last year's incident whereby Nate Furrier nearly drowned when unable to remove his weight belt. Given Sam Nowak's father's response, as a member of the Katunkwit Volunteer Firefighters and the Ambulance Corps, it wasn't Nate Furrier's day to die. Ooh. Contestants will crawl on the bottom, return to the surface when in need of breath, and return to Narragansett Bottom, the gnarly bottom, and proceed. The winner will be the person or people that are able to crawl the entire length of East Beach. Last year's winner enjoyed free golf at the golf course for a season and several gift certificate cards slated for a variety of businesses in the community. Come out on we're going to go with August 2nd at 9:30 to see some of Katunkwit's fastest bottom crawlers compete for this year's title. While we are aware that betting has taken place during past years of racing, we do not sanction betting on our crawlers. Each contestant's monitoring line and buoy will be clearly marked with numbers and colors so that you may root for your favorite crawler or place a bet.
This is not for people who don't like eelgrass and other seaweeds.
Yes. I mean, you have to be hardcore. Go hardcore.
Hardcore.
I'm going hardcore on this one. I'm not doing it. I mean, I crawl around the bottom all the time in, shallow water, but my head's above the water doing my clamming.
My husband had thought about it. He used to play underwater hockey, as he's ever so proud to let people know that.
Cool.
Anyway, which led to free diving led to a busted eardrum. Underwater hockey led to neck surgery. But anyway, but he had thought about joining this. I just said, you are 69 years old. I don't care how good of a lifeguard. It's not happening. It's not happening unless
it's not sanctioned.
It's not sanctioned, and it's not. It's a disclaimer in the life insurance policy. And I know that sounds really cold of me, but I am 9 years younger.
I was just going to say.
I'm not going to financially suffer because he wanted to do this thing, the crawl.
Stan is a cougar.
Yeah.
Well, we have a short story here that I wrote, as I usually do, and it has two titles. You can choose one or the other. It's called Katunkwit's Farm Daughter Market. Sounds like they're selling farm daughters. Or Organic Food Meets Organic Convo. And everyone knows what Convo is. Conversation.
Oh.
Okay, so I will be reading I'll be reading the narration as well as a part in this piece called, his name is Mel. And Ashlyn is going to read the other part, which it starts out as a woman clerk. She's a woman clerk at first, and until we know her name, and her name is Visa, as in like Visa. Okay, so we're going to start this off, and this is the world premiere here of Katunkwit's Farm Daughter Market and Organic Food Meets Organic Convo by James Allen. Where are the radishes from? Mel asks innocently, directing his query to the young clerk at the farmer's market in Katunkwit, who looks 20. She's definitely not old enough to drive the box truck containing the vegetables she'd sell this Monday afternoon at the farmer's market, located at the Town Hall Annex Parking Lot A. Probably 20 years old. And unsurable, but likely very valuable for a low-budget farm business's owner. Mel thought all this as he looked intently at the young woman. At 25 years old, Mel had dated two older women in their 30s. He hadn't truly understood either woman's interest in him or motivation with him beyond sex.
Those thoughts are racist, Stretch.
Racist? How's asking where the radishes are racist? That's kind of derogatory, isn't it, calling me Stretch? I presume you call me that because I'm tall. Or is it because I may be Jewish? Who knows?
I don't know, Stretch. It's just racist because I'm young and I'm dark-skinned, and because you claim to be Jewish, which can be intimidating.
So, if you replied when I asked you where the radishes are from, and you said Somerset, Massachusetts, let's say, then I would know the information I asked for, and you'd not think I'm racist.
I don't know, but are you going to buy something or talk to me all afternoon? Because I got things to do.
She says this while scrolling her cell phone and pretending to not look up. I don't think we're done.
You were trying to ask about my ethnicity in an underhanded way. All where are the radishes from? You might as well have asked me, where are you from? Are you from Guatemala? And I would have, said no. Not that Guatemalans aren't cool. But I'm from... Well, I'm not even telling you.
She hesitates. My face has, let's say, curved, sort of angular, rather striking features, don't you think? Mel asks.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at your face, man. I'm looking at your face. Where do you get off saying that? What are you going to do? Go home and jerk off in the bathroom while, thinking about me as the girl at the farmer's market?
Where are the fucking radishes from?
So you're one of these weird 25-year-old creeps that wait until the market's all done and ask a young girl like me to get coffee or something? I don't know your story?
The girl says. I don't have a story, and it's really too late for coffee, and I sure as hell still don't know where the radishes are from.
Bucks Island Farm, Aquidneck Island. All this shit is from there. I just come here today because Denver Coldshade didn't show up. She's usually here, strumming a guitar while she sells vegetables. Me, I don't have any talent.
The young woman says while sitting on a paint-strewn stool as she simultaneously speaks and does an arching spine stretch that Mel notices accentuates her strong farm woman physique. Not really many customers today, Mel remarks after she returns to her normal posture, but he wishes she'd do that again, as she can arch like a cat.
No, but don't think these are other folks selling shit aren't looking you up and down right now, wondering what you're doing talking to a young farm person at Katunkwit Market.
Is it illegal now, I guess, to be tall and maybe Jewish, maybe not, of the Jewish faith, and to talk to people selling their items at a farmer's market? I mean, I have money. I should be able to buy some Bucks Island radishes.
How much money do you have?
Plenty. What's your name?
I ain't telling you my name. Like, what the fuck?
She rocks on the stool, making a clunk, 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 clunk on the patio blocks beneath the stool.
Visa.
She says quickly and almost imperceptibly. Did you say Visa?
My parents were coming from Europe when I was born. My mom forgot her passport and they were denied visas into the U.S. I was born in the airport in Rome, Italy. I'm Italian.
She reveals as she weighs the bag of radishes.
6 pounds, 10 ounces. I'll make it an even 7 pounds.
You rounded up, Mel says as he turns away from Visa while talking to the sky.
What was that you said?
How much?
$4 per pound comes to $28.
I don't need 7 pounds of radishes.
Well, how many fucking radishes do you want then, Stretch? These are like Bucks Island radishes, you know.
Visa asserts while dumping the contents of the bag onto the table aggressively. Mel places the radishes back in the bag while Visa picks up a harmonica and begins playing with considerable skill. You do have talent, Mel says, handing over $30 while Visa makes change with one hand and continues to pay. Keep the $2, Mel says while brushing the dollars in her smooth-skinned hand away and onto the table. Visa tucks the tip beneath her bra.
You won't get too far with me for like $2.
Visa says, taking Mel by surprise.
Do you drink beer?
I came for radishes. Sometimes I drink beer, I guess.
They have $2 shots going at the Katunkwit Cafe until 8. You want to get fucked up?
You said beer.
Shots are cheaper. Beer's like $8. You get more fucked up on shots.
I'm buying. Get whatever you want.
Dinner too?
She asked while flipping her flip-flops onto the slate patio block, making a thwop sound. Dinner? Whatever you're up to. Whatever you're up for, I guess. We can go to Newport.
My father will pick up the truck. I'll text him where I'll leave the keys. He's at the Katunkwit Cafe. He can't stand people, so he grows the vegetables and we sell them.
Visa says while brushing her hair above the vegetables on the table. Mel can see the dark hair from the brush dropping out to someone's future salad in the late afternoon sun.
Help me pack the truck. The sooner we pack it up, the sooner I can text him and we can get the fuck out of here.
Mel packs the truck with the remaining zucchini, eggplant, potatoes, and tomatoes, while Visa texts her dad.
Just throw out the rest of the radishes. They're 3 days old.
She yells from the cabin in the truck where she's changing and then jumps down and places the keys on the passenger side tire. Ready? You look nice, Mel blurts out, noting Visa's flower print green dress. He's wondered what the flower is. It's maybe hibiscus. Yep, that's it, hibiscus, he thought. Mel chucks the bag of 3-day-old radishes he bought into the trash barrel outside the town hall. Doors slam shut, and the two look curiously at one another for a long, awkward moment. And then, both simultaneously smile. Let's get, wicked fucked up. I like that old guy from the Florida. He's dead. Jimmy Buffett. I think the line is maybe, I know what it is. Why don't we get drunk and screw? Mel hits the accelerator on his vintage blue convertible Spitfire, and the two make their way to the ferry, park the car, buy a pint bottle of tequila, and hit it hard until the ferry arrives to take them to Newport. Visa finds her way into a spot beneath the crook of Mel's arm, and they sip from the bottle past Rose Hill Lighthouse and Fort Adams, and then into the harbor. Mel is sure that this time he'd met a woman organically. He was sure that Visa would keep him sharp and on his toes, and that they'd have at least one big adventure, but who knows, maybe more. Visa finishes the bottle before they reach the table at the Clark Cookhouse restaurant. Mel looks quizzically at the painting of some Gilded Age rich bitch from the Victorian era's portrait hanging above Visa's head, and wonders, just wonders, if he actually might be related to her. It seems that Mel was related to most of the bitch bastards in Newport. Visa smiles and thinks clearly, despite the fog of 5 shots of tequila, that this day and this date is getting curiouser and curiouser. And that's the end of the story.
I think I should have read the story before I read the story.
I think you should always read the stuff, but you never read the stuff. You always want me to give the stuff in advance, right? I bring it over there, I send it to you, whatever. I don't bring it to you, but I send it to you. Well in advance, I might add.
It's a pretty classic Katunquit story. I mean, the rich summer guy having a fling and romancing the townie.
I think there's some truth to that. However, but there's something else. There's more to it than that, don't you think? There's something that has been missed. What's the hole in his donut that needs to be filled?
Oh, well, the hole is finding someone who is genuinely interested in him for who he is and not what he is.
Are there many 25-year-olds thinking about that? I don't think so. You're a professional.
What's different about Mel? What's different about Mel?
What's different than a typical 25-year-old?
No, what's different about this Mel? Most Mels don't have had 2 relationships with older women that were, seemingly long-term relationships, as long as they can be when you're 25.
So you think Mel's an old soul?
No, I think he's just looking for something else, just something a little strange, a little different. And
well, it's not
younger.
Actually that strange to be dating someone kind of in your age pool.
No, but...
So he's looking for something more normal.
Yeah.
The Cougars have been after him.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
And so his
I'm sorry. Right now, how many shots did I have? I'm feeling really poorly at the moment.
Well, that's the truth about alcohol. It doesn't usually lead to the screwing, as maybe it does when you're 25, but not when you're 65.
So you're thinking he just thought that if he got outside of his usual socioeconomic social circle, he would find a salt of the earth gal and
I don't think he cares about the money too much.
His money, right? He doesn't. Yeah. He's looking for something real, but he thinks this gal's going to be real because she fits the persona of the humble farm girl.
But she does drink too much. But I like the way she operates. Number one,
she's smooth.
She keeps him off balance, right?
Yeah, she does. She doesn't fall for it.
2, she gets dressed quickly in the truck, right?
Yeah, so she was anticipating the potential.
She came out looking pretty good with this dress on, right?
Yeah, she had the dress in the truck to begin with.
Yeah, she moved pretty fast, though.
Yeah, she herself is cruising. Yeah. She's cruising the farm market.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time this has happened.
No.
So he's not going to get what he thinks he's getting out of her.
But you know what's nice about her? She fit into the crook beneath this. That's critical, I think, to this story. That she fit right in here, that she had the presence of mind to put her head under the crook of his arm, and that he felt that she fit. And I think that says something. In a short story, that's critical, I think.
About the anticipated future.
That he thinks that she would keep him sharp and on his toes. And more like, maybe that's better said by saying that she gives him something that he's not accustomed to, like this secure experience. It's going to be varied. And
I give this relationship a 25% chance.
Yeah. Well, as long as there's some...
I think she's going to enjoy the meal at the Cart Cookhouse.
Absolutely. That's good food.
And there you go.
And then there's also two things here. One is that I think she drinks a little too much alcohol. She's drinking straight vodka from a bottle. I mean, it's a little too much. So there might be a problem there. But we did not get any sponsorship from Clark Cookhouse, which we should have.
That's unfortunate.
It is. I think I've talked about my father's group of the Sons of Modeline, but I thought I'd clarify it with some little discussion about it. But first, I'll tell you a little bit about it. My father belonged to a group of guys. Well, it was sort of a club, but more of a group. They grew up together in the town of Warren, near Union Street in East Warren. They called themselves the Sons of Modeline. They were all World War II vets, and after the Second World War, they would get together regularly to talk about the war, to play football, and have a beer blast and a clam bake about 4 times per year. And when the Korean War vets returned from war, guys from the same neighborhood would join in the Sons of Modeline, and they called themselves the Chingazords. Yet they never became Modelines for some reason. I should say, I think I say it later, but if I don't, I'll clarify it, but how that name came about, Modeline. The annual event was held at Adams Point in Barrington, Rhode Island. Each member in groups of 6 per rented a boat and were expected to row out to the point in leaky rowboats and were instructed to bring a case per man, meaning a case of beer, usually Narragansett beer, along with 1 or 2 potatoes. They would spend the day drinking, clamming, and fishing at the point to provide the ingredients for an in-the-ground clam bake with rockweed and hot rocks and all the collected bounty from the sea, and they top it off with a canvas cover. They'd share stories and play tackle football without pads on the rocky beach until they were sufficiently bloodied and beaten. Then they'd swim into the ocean and return to the rocky beach and drink more. Then the group would combine efforts to collect wood, seaweed, the proper type of rocks, and build a massive fire and heat the rocks and create an in-the-ground clam bake, as I suggested. The days were described again and again throughout my lifetime by my father and my uncle, and others as magnificent monuments to stupidity and fun. Well, the Sons of Modeline were so named after the result of a woman named Madeline, who would scream out of her window in Italian and toss hot water on them from her perch from her second-floor apartment as the boys passed through her yard, which was a natural shortcut. Therefore, they called themselves the Sons of Modeline. During the 1950s, the Sons of Modeline members and the Chingazord families became bigger, commitments to work and the family became greater, and the number of visits from the members of the group per year dwindled to just 2 events. The biggest and most participation-required Modeline meeting took place in the fall of the year in September. None of the families or wives were ever invited, yet many family members and spouses objected, as the guys were so happy upon return, and the extended Modeline family were curious, of course. Lefty Saviano was the commissioner. Pat Abruzzi was the much-aligned, as he was always seeking the commissioner's role through elaborate campaigns, including one time when Pat walked up and down Main Street in Warren campaigning for the role of Sons of Modeline commissioner, with a sandwich board sign painted by his daughters, who could never understand why their famous father, a former professional football player, how he couldn't garner the top spot with the organization of a bunch of knuckleheads from East Warren. The townspeople must have thought Pat's campaign to become commissioner of an unknown, wildly named club to be crazy, as the Sons of Modeline were not known by anyone outside the group except the families of the members. As time progressed, the events no longer included long rows to Adams Point in Barrington as they found their way to the park in Barrington for their annual events. Tackle football became touch football in the late 50s. Early 60s, as the men became weary of the many injuries. And as Ferdy D once said, everyone does have to work on Monday. While beer was served, it wasn't necessary to bring a case per man any longer. The events became shorter, the beer bellies were greater, and the pass routes during the football game shorter. In the early 70s, touch football competitions were replaced with competitive games of botch, complete with measuring strings, the occasional friendly nudge or near fist fight. But things were definitely cooling down for the gang. The meals at these events centered around meatballs and sausage, and they barrel-baked a bushel of clams and quahogs, but it didn't include the elaborate in-the-ground bakes of the yesteryear. During the 1980s, some key members of the gang died. Cancer of the brain, some other ailments. While saddened, the sons of Madeline and the Chingazords persisted. Pat still was not awarded the commissioner's role even after the death of the commissioner. The spot will be left open indefinitely until we'll all meet together in heaven, Smolly Dmitri once said. The 1990s saw more World War II deaths among the group, and the group of 25 was down to 16 fellas. They persisted nevertheless, even through times of loss. The annual events were held inside my Uncle Don's art studio. The food didn't include the heavy spices they used in the past. Clams, quahogs were no longer critical elements of the event. Competitions included card games. As time persisted, video cameras were permitted at the events to chronicle the craziness and some memorable pleas on the part of Pat Abruzzi to become commissioner, complete with a mooning of the membership, all caught on videotape. All was done in fun, and the tapes proved to be hilarious remembrances for those that became ill could no longer attend the meetings. By the year 2015, the sons of Madeline were down to 6 guys. They met for coffee at Dunkin' Donuts quite often. They still talked of war. Some couldn't remember much that happened the same day, but the war they recalled vividly. They no longer drank beer, just coffee, compared illnesses, members of the doctor's appointments. None of them were able to eat much of anything they used to back in the day. Their memories were wonderful. They kept the memories of my father and all the others alive over coffee and glazed donuts. There are no members of the Modelines or Chingazords groups left. When members of the Sons of Madeline died, their families included mention of their involvement with the Sons of Madeline in their obituaries. Such loyalty is rarely found in modern society. And a little remembrance.
Nice. I mean, I've heard the Madeline story before, but it's a good one.
Yeah. Seem to be cramping up a bit. What'd you take from the old Sons of Madeline, Arona?
It was very bittersweet. I have a father who was in the Korean War, and he's still alive. He's 94, but he's lost almost all his friends.
Yeah.
And it was just a story about the passing of time and loyalty and friendship. And I especially got the glazed donuts, and they can't eat spicy food. Because that's where my own father is at this point. I hate to say it's a generation that's gone as far as those values that shared Sebastian Younger tribe, that shared tribe.
Yes.
And finding comfort in each other. And God, I'd hate that there'd be another war or anything, but I mean, it's really, that stuff happens when things are real.
Tribe.
You know?
I thought
and that was your dad's tribe.
Yeah, it was my dad's tribe. They hung together, that tribe. All right, so we have a poem here, Dante's Circle. Do you want me to read it, or should you read it, Arona?
I don't want to not do it justice. And
Okay.
having not seen it before, I'm going to have you read it because you wrote it.
All right.
And I
All right,
want
it's
to listen.
called Dante's Circle, and you can do the professional commentary.
Oh, okay.
And as in sometimes in poems, I make up a few words, so just bear with me. He bit on the bitter pill of sortism, the synonym of assumption, escorting in his mind the mistress of the mall, listing to one side as to knock her off balance as he walks. A ruse to catch her as a drunken mannequin, to hold her untrusting frame. He bit on the iron harness, the synonym of slavery to thought, raising her up in his mind all these years. He thought she'd walk better, bury the bushel basket of fear, sit with him on the row of plastic benches. He continued to wind her hair with words, the synonym of ego, the fifth cousin of plantation life, smooth-tonguing her, tickling her memory stick for a revelation, and she buys it, visiting Macy's, agreeing on a smell at the perfume counter. He trudges on, breast out, torso thrust, like a cock, the synonym of all feathers, guiding his single hen with ill-advised faint touches above the hip where it rolls to a rest, signaling ownership, the seventh cousin of lost and the eighth of run. Walking acres of granite floors, they window shop. The drunks drink from paper bags. The elderly power walk slowly. He leaves her seated to attend his business, breaking the bread of pseudo-okayism, drinking the Kool-Aid of contentedness, synonym of fool, assuring her he'd be right back. Reintroducing himself to real runway of the underground mallway, he could have left her there all years, bearing down on her, waiting. Upon near return, she's still seated, coat scrunched, yet tall, the dancer. Synonym of yes. Standing, watching a moment, yet too far, whipping his thoughts, when unexpectedly, a one-legged man, in creeps the ignorant cousin of distinction, the blind synonym of subconscious, bag in hand, Coke bottle glasses, pepper and salt beard, standing, staring at her, with cocked, indignant head, wanting the bench with his purposeful posture, a single seat among a row of 20. This quiet crowing cock, a wingless waltzing fool, he shifts closer to intercede, the subtle mother of conflict, the grandmother of egg on face, and she stands, takes hand, spins on toe, walking through the heavy glass doors to the undiscerning, objective gray sidewalk. Dante Circle.
In your mind, where is this taking place?
The mall.
The Providence Place Mall?
It doesn't matter. A mall. Good save on the door. I would just let it run. It'll be fine. Okay. Even better. So, yes.
Okay, so I'm a bit of a one-hit wonder. I'm pretty good at psychology, but I need to reread things several times before I get it. Is this gentleman a stalker? And this is all a fantasy in his mind?
Or is he with an actual person?
I'm going to leave that to you.
I think he's a creepy stalker. I think he's a lonely, creepy guy hanging around the Warwick Mall. And there is a patron there, oblivious to him, who he is now obsessing on. And, yeah, that's what I think. I think he fancies himself seducing her. And then, in the end, there she goes.
I think he fancies himself that he's already seduced her, that he's already hers.
She's his.
She that's right. Yeah.
She is already his.
Yes.
That's really disturbing. I mean, it's wow. Okay, wow.
What's the significance of the one-legged guy?
I think it's referred to as the assumption, something about assumption, right? So he makes a lot of assumptions about people, right? Whipping in his thoughts when expecting a one-legged man. So he makes assumptions about people based on their looks, right? In Creeps, the ignorant cousin of distinction, the blind synonym of subconscious. So in his mind, he's conjuring these perceptions of who this woman would attract. And then he's kind of shocked by who is attracted to her and who she's attracted to and walks off with.
Did she walk off with him?
Yeah.
In my mind, I wondered if, they're sitting and the one-legged man needs to sit more, so they should give up their seats for him.
She may, it's not clear. Right? I agree with you. The quiet crowing cock, a wingless waltzing fool, he shifts closer to intercede, the subtle mother of conflict. So the narrator is doing that. The grandmother of egg and face, and she stands and takes his hand. The one-legged man.
The one-legged guy.
It spins on toe, walking through the heavy glass doors to the undiscerning, objective, gray sidewalk. Where's she going? She's going to...
Is he hopping? Because if he's on crutches, he probably needs his hand.
That is, there's more to the story. Okay, let's go to here. I think we're going to save Tom and the Kid for
James
another
just
day.
cuts me off when he doesn't like it.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. You take the story too far or whatever. I had a piece from Maine. I was going to do the Maine piece, but I'm going to save that for next week. And I would like to read this last story because it's a fresh one. Oh, no, we already did that. We already did the one that was fresh. So maybe I'll just go through this quickly. I'm not quickly, but I'll read it to you. And it takes place in Maine. It's called Tom and the Kid. Tom and the Kid. Some of you have heard this before, but not in podcast land. So, it takes place in Maine. That October, we was working down Jeb Magruder's farm. Jeb was one of those guys. He'd never take his plow in from the field. Well, sure enough, me and old Tom Clancy was working side by side in the potato fields. Tom sure could dig 'em up. I'm saying I never did see a guy could dig 'em up like old Tom, except in that damn kid Tom run into that fall. Tom had a steel claw in his right arm that plucked them spuds up like they was cherries in a pie. He lost his arm. One of those young college kids down for the weekend harvest would ask Tom, "How'd you lose your arm, sir?" And Tom would say, "Lost it swimming." And that young sapling of a kid, sure enough, he'd say, "Oh, yeah, how?" And old Tom, he'd rear back on his heels, and he'd straighten out his back, and he'd pluck his suspenders once or twice, and he'd say, "Lost it to the largest largemouth bass I ever seen." We'd both laugh pert near all day. That was the kind of summer harvest, kind of harvest season it was, and that's the kind of guy Tom Clancy is. He never let none of those young kids get the best of him, except in that ambitious kid with the strong back Tom run into that fall. We got paid by the sack, and Tom would beat every one of them kids who was 30 years his junior. There was one kid, though, I remember. He stood out particular like. That kid, he pluck him up a damn sight better than me, actually. And the kid was looker. And I don't mean a ladies' man. His head was always bobbing up to see how many old Tom had in his potato sack. He stayed close, that kid, and never more than 3 full rows away from Tom and me. Kid had a peculiar look about him. Never went off at lunchtime with the other kids smoking that rope. Kid would walk funny, kind of straight, and he was always hung in close to me and Tom. Seemed like a shadow all the time. It wasn't long before Tom started getting fed up with that kid. One day, Tom looked over at me, and he bent over a hill of spuds. He lifted his eyebrows, kind of pointing over at the kid. Sure enough, I looked over to see that kid strapping a steel hook to his right arm. All the other kids were laughing at him. And he paid no never mind to the other kids, and he started plucking potatoes out of the earth like a regular Jim Dandy. I mean, Tom said, "Looks like that boy's been swimming." And he laughed, but I never seen Tom work so hard that afternoon. He was breathing like a snorting quarter horse. At Tom's full-brimmed hat was bobbing and flopping, and his face never was so red. And it wasn't from the sun. I went home that night, and me and my Eloise, we had us a good laugh when I told her old Tom had been showed up by one of them weekend kids from the forestry school. Eloise laughed until she cried, "So must have got that good of him, didn't it? It must have set him off like a firecracker." The next day was a blazer. I mean, a real Indian summer come round, the kind of day up here in Maine we don't get much. Once or twice in 100 years in the month of October. And it gets hot enough to be warm at daybreak. That's what it was. I say 'twas warm. Me and Tom walked down the bag shack that Jeb Magruder made to keep the bags dry. And sure enough, that kid was there earlier than us, and I dare say old Tom wasn't a bit happy about it. Kid had already rolled and stacked bags enough for the 2 of us. When we got there, Tom walked by the kid, grabbed enough for himself from the main pile. He turns waving that stainless steel hook in the air, and he said, "You don't be doing me no favors, no way. You don't be doing me no favors, boy. I ain't no cripple." The kid gives Tom the sourpuss. He starts to get all crinkled up in the head. And I thought he was going to cry. He was going to bust old Tom right on the jaw. And Tom sees the kids all bothered and turns back to the pile, grabs enough potato sacks for 3 of them regular college kids. Well, the sun got hot that day. Everyone had commenced to start stripping down. Not Tom, though. He kept that flannel shirt a button clear up to the neck, and I could see him sweating straight through his blue jeans. Them potatoes was flying out of the ground. I was afraid the hook was going to lose itself from Tom's stump. Yes, sure. I would sure say that would shake up some of them rope-smoking kids. Not 2 rows away was that kid stripped down to his shorts and boots, and he's swinging at the earth with that homemade hook still pouting about this morning. The kid never looked up no more like he used to, but he kept on going to picking spuds and stacking bag after bag. It was all Tom could do to keep up. And by noon lunch, Tom was a full bag behind the kid. When noontime come, me and Tom went over to the bag shack to get us some lunch. Tom was still sweating. He didn't eat a speck of the lunch his wife made him. He's sweating bullets. And I says to him, "Tom, you all right? You best slow down some this afternoon." Tom looked over at me. He straightened out his back, and he plucked his suspenders like he always does when he's ready to get the better of me. But he didn't say nothing. That bothered me some. The afternoon wore on. That boy was no more ready to quit than a bear in a honey house, and Tom fell 3 bags behind. He kept on swerking. He's lifting the spuds from the sun-baked ground, and Tom seemed a mite more bent over than usual, and I was starting to worry some more about old Tom. The day seemed longer than ever in the hot sun. Tom's face was getting red, and it wasn't from the sun. Time come when Tom starts a breathing real hard, and he lifted his head and he looked at me real plain like, and Never saw old Tom like that before. And I was scared he wasn't going to make it. Not even one more step. Sure enough, Tom keeled over like an old pine tree in the forest, and his head hit the dried ground with a thud. And I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just turned him over and I brushed off his face. And Tom was the color of a new green potato. I was sure he was dead. The kid kept on working, never looking up, so I yells at him, See what you done to old Tom? That boy, he run over to Tom quicker than you could ever know. And he starts rapping on Tom's chest and then breathing in his mouth like a city doctor. Something to see, that Tom lying there dead, getting a beat on by that young kid. Well, that young kid beat the life right back into old Tom. And it wasn't too long before Tom's face was getting red. And it wasn't from the sun.
It's a great story.
That's a good one.
I
have
like
heard
it.
that
I
before,
really like
but
that.
I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah. The nemesis became the savior.
Yes. Yeah. And technology, right? So the kid knew something
kid
that
knew
Tom
something.
didn't know.
Mhm.
Right? And neither did the narrator. Yeah. So there it is. That's what we have. I have to ask, did you enjoy the experience of being a member of this podcast?
I loved it.
The 50th. Imagine
I loved it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't so hot, maybe I
Yeah.
had some coffee and maybe a little livelier.
We're going to have coffee after. We're going to go out for coffee. You want to go for coffee? Not
I have to work.
Cold coffee.
She's got a job.
You got to work? You can work later.
We're retired. She's got a job.
We'll go for coffee. And then I was going to say, I think it's time for music, Waves and Bubbles.
It's been fun.
Did you know that when you took that bathroom break earlier that you have a string of maybe 5 pieces of toilet paper tucked into your shorts?
You're so full of shit.
You checked. See you later.